Variables and expressions. That is today's lesson. Our learning target for variables and expressions is students can simplify expressions by substituting numbers in for variables. So we're going to talk about variables and expressions. We went over some definitions the other day. I'm going to use some of those words today. And today we're going to work on substituting. Okay. When you're done writing that down, you can move on to the next screen. If you need to pause, go ahead. Okay, our first example is evaluating variable expressions. So we're going to talk about evaluating these and what a variable expression is. So remember, a variable expression is an expression. An expression has a operation in it, and a variable expression has a variable in it as well. So x plus 4 is a variable expression because we have the x in there, and it's an expression because it just has an operation. Okay, no equal sign or anything like that. That makes it an equation with equal sign. So this is just an expression. Okay, all that we're going to do is we're just going to substitute in the variable for the number and then answer the problem. Very simple. You have to show your work. I call it the substitution step. So I'm going to rewrite my problem substituting the number for the variable. So I'm going to do 9 plus 4. All I did was substitute 9 in for x because 9 equaled x. Okay, 9 plus 4, you write that, and then you do the work. 9 plus 4 is 13, and you are done. Okay, both of these, and this is important, are called equivalent expressions. Okay, they are equivalent to each other. All right, x plus 4, and even x plus 4 is included in there. X plus 4 is equivalent to 9 plus 4, which is equivalent to 13. Okay, those are all equivalent. They all represent the same amount. Okay, so for B, I'm going to do the same thing. When y minus 3, when y equals 7, I just substitute 7 in for y. 7 minus 3, that is 4. That's it. Substitute the number in for the variable, answer the problem, understand that they are all equivalent expressions. Equivalent meaning represents the same amount, just different values. Okay? Let's move on to our next page. If you need to pause, go ahead. Okay, in example 2. I'm sorry, we're still in example 1 here. Now we're just going to have multiplication. Now this is the big thing, guys. This does not stand for 46. That is not correct. Okay, this right here, this 4n, that is multiplication in there. 4 times n. You have 4 sets of n is what you have. So when you substitute, you must substitute 4 times 6. That stands for multiplication. So you need to understand that this is multiplication. That's a tough one. Okay. So that's multiplication. 4 times 6 is 24, and there's my answer. So this is the substitution step and the answer. Notice how I keep writing my answer below my work. That's one thing I want you to start to get used to is working down, not across, left to right, but working down. So get in the habit of starting to write your answers underneath your previous step. That'll help you as we progress forward in this unit. Right? In example D, D divided by 2 when D equals 8. So again, I substitute the 8 in for the D. So that's 8 over 2. Remember that stands for division. 8 divided by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So my final answer is 4. You have to remember that that fraction bar stands for division. Okay? So that's example 1. If you need to pause, go ahead. Otherwise, I'll be moving on to the last example. Alright, in example, well it says 3, but this is really 2. In example 2, we have evaluating expressions with 2 variables. This is no different. I just now have 2 variables instead of 1 variable. Okay, just plug them both in at the same time. So I plugged in 12 in for G, so that's 12, plus I plugged in 29 in for the A, 12 plus 29. Okay, so that's my substitution step. 12 plus 29 equals 41. And there's your answer. Substitution step. Okay. Substitution step. When I talk about doing that in class, I say use your substitution step. That's what I'm referring to. Okay. I must see that and then your answer. Okay. And for B, I plug those in. So that's 7 times 11. Okay. Again, that's multiplication. That's not 711. You have one variable multiplied by another variable, just like I had 4n in the previous problem. That stands for multiplication, so that's 7 times 11, which is 77, and there's my answer. Okay. If you need to go back and rewatch everything, go ahead. Otherwise, have a great night.